What about Fujimori? What's your opinion about his role historically and his situation now?
Well, he's in jail. I'm not sure how long that will last. I know he's an older person, so legally I think there would be reasons for which they could say he shouldn't continue in jail, because by law, after 65, I think there is potestad, is a president could it would be perfectly reasonable for health or whatever reasons. In this particular, it's a very particular case, definitely, because it's an ex-president, and so that would make it difficult for all ends. I mean, it's a complicated situation. I do think it is disturbing that there's so much noise made when there's some quote-unquote human rights trial, which haven't been many, and whereas the danger that supposedly people like myself pose to society is magnified by 3 million. I don't understand. And the issue of the debts, that's the other thing, because those are comparable. There's also, corruption scandals don't owed a lot of money. The reparations were very high, and however, no one pays them, I think. So I don't understand why it all happens to be my fault or some, the issue of reparations, but it's an issue that for some reason is only referring to people accused of terrorism and not referring to other crimes.
Following that and getting back to something I asked before, in your case, and I asked this, why do you think there's so much focus on your case? If we compare it to, say, Nellie Evans, who played an extremely important role within the Shining Path, she was released from prison. She's living happily, not happily, but living in Jesus Maria. There was stuff in the press the day she was released, and it ended there. Why isn't that the case with you?
I don't know. I don't understand it. I thought there was going to be a little bit of press outside. I guess also there's a lot more press than there was years ago. But I could have never imagined the stampede of getting into the apartment building, or the stampede of getting out of prison. I had no idea of what I was up against. And I think it's when you announce things and then, I understand public opinion is informed of things in a certain way, and then they react to it. And then it's just sort of a snowball cycle. And so, you say something, dangerous terrorist is getting out. Do you think the population is going to receive that in a nice way? And they were actually, I remember the first day they were talking about it, it was interesting, I think it was in RPP. Someone said, well, that's 15 years. 15 years is a long time. Well, 15 years is a very long time. It's 2/3 of my adult life. It's more than 1/3 of my real life. I mean, it's a lot of time. And like me, I remember, people who were actually much younger than I was, people who were in jail half of their lives. And that is not a small amount of time. So I think things should be put into perspective at some point. I don't know when, but that is the idea of perspective in terms of responsibility, in terms of how people have paid for what they've done. But it's that's another issue. But why was my case so singled out? I think it depends a lot of how you say something. A dangerous terrorist is going to live next to you. Do you want that terrorist living next to you? I don't. And obviously, so the reaction is, no, I don't want the dangerous terrorist. And so then someone else responds, well, that dangerous terrorist shouldn't get out then. And then it just keeps snowballing, and the result is 9 weeks straight of being, sometimes many times front page articles in the newspaper. And I don't. Is that proportional to my responsibility? No. And, so it doesn't make sense. And that has gone on repetitively over the last 15 years.